Ain't nothing but to do it.
And we
This
are.
broadcast is live.
This broadcast is live on Facebook and YouTube. What's up? What's up?
Hey,
Hello.
How are we doing today?
doing good, doing amazing. How's it going? Black coffee, honey, and grits.
Wonderful.
It's
rainy,
beautiful.
cold, and
And
it's
I
cold.
want you to know that. Okay, I'm sorry.
Who was that? Was that
My
Shelley?
favorite though.
The words. All right, ladies, what are we talking about today? Are we introducing ourselves? Are we
Mindset.
doing something? What are we doing?
We're talking about mindset, y'all. If y'all are tuning in, this is Black Coffee, Honey, and Grits. And ladies, we are the black coffee, and our lips drip with honey. And sometimes we got a little grit. We've got sass, class, and all that ass. And today we're going to talk about mindset.
Yeah, that is what we're going to do. So, you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm Dr. Jamesia, the nurse practitioner extraordinaire. I'm also your intermittent fasting and mindset coach, YouTube influencer, all the things, and 1/5 of Black Coffee, Honey, and Grits. I'll pass it on over to you, Jamika.
I'm gonna start saying all the things. I'm gonna start naming out some stuff. I'm a this and a that and oh girl, I'm gonna be rapping. Hey y'all, I am Jamika Anderson. I'm CEO and owner of Harmony and Power Institute, where I help women and children who lack confidence and clarity achieve harmony and power within themselves so that they can have the life that they desire. What that means to me and probably for you in simple terms is I help you get your life on track, get your mind right. So I'm passing it over to you, Shelley.
All right, you guys. I am Shelly A. Carter out of New Jersey, cross-licensed real estate professional doing business under Housing Ministry LLC. I have real estate banking, life insurance licenses, do home improvement, everything that has to do with the house. And I have an affinity for monetization. We will get to that one day, someday. But that is me in a nutshell. So catch you over at the Maisha side. Where is it? There it is.
Hello, everybody. I'm over here sharing it out in our group just so that they make sure we have a group on Facebook if you didn't know. Hi, everybody. My name is Debbie Maisha, and I am the Sensual Energy Alchemist, and I'm a teacher of sensual energy embodiment and sacred sexuality, which means I assist women in getting aligned with their unique sensual expression, their confidence, their power, so they can create the most orgasmic lives possible in and out of the bedroom. So I'm excited to be here with y'all today.
Yeah, girl, we excited too. So, Maisha, I don't, is it you that's kind of leading it, or are we just talking about? We're just gonna
First,
what? Okay,
don't forget Carmel.
she's coming. We're
I
gonna.
know, but y'all just gotta shout her out. You know,
Shout out to Carmel, who's running the Brooklyn Half Marathon today.
Yes, our,
Yes.
That
our
woman
other
got some
member.
medals.
Yeah, our other member. You guys know her, Carmel Jean Francois. She is running a marathon, a half marathon today. So she's running just a little bit late. She'll be up here in a few minutes, but she teaches women over 40 how to eat more healthy so that their body is sexy, sassy, and strong, healthy and strong by putting more plants on your plate. And she's our resident vegan and coach, CFIT Coaching. So that's Carmel. She'll be here in a little bit though.
Yeah.
and she want to make sure y'all feel sexy in the mirror, inside and out. Yeah, I love when she be doing. I be like, yes, I be in the mirror like, okay, I'm ready.
All right, so we're going to talk about mindset. I think
Yes.
I guess we'll just go over what mindset means to each of us. I don't know, Maisha, were you going to just grab it and go?
Oh, this was not the one I was leading because y'all know I don't like that word.
No,
It is
I
like
will.
it's the
I will
bane of
do
my
it.
existence.
All right.
Look, I'll do it for you. It is all good. So mindset is one of the things that I love to talk about. Mindset is everything. And we hear the phrase, we hear the word all the time. People are like, mindset, mindset, mindset. And sometimes your question may just be like, what is that? What does that mean? One of the things I was thinking about earlier is, I don't know about y'all, but my house is set at a specific temperature, right? Every morning I wake up, I set it at 77 degrees. I don't care what's happening, what day it is, it's at 77. When it gets to a certain time of the night and I know I'm about to go to bed, I drop that bad boy down to about 70, 71. And that's the set temperature. And when we talk about mindset, it's pretty much the same thing. What is it that you're thinking about? Who is it that you want to be? How are you focusing your mind and your actions on what it is that you want, what you truly desire in your life? And so when I think about mindset, I think about how are you specifically leading your life, and what are the decisions that you're making that align with what it is that you want to do, who you want to be, or who you want to become. And so all of the things that you do should be systematically set up, and don't have to be systematic. You can do how you want, but in essence, it can be systematically set up for a desired outcome. And so you setting your mind is the desired outcome that you want to show up in your physical reality, in your physical world, or in your spiritual world, financial world. It can change depending on what it is you want to talk about. However, what is it that you want? And that's one of the big things that I think people struggle with, is really knowing deep down inside what they want and what they need versus what they've been told to want and should desire or need. And so in essence, I think that's kind of what we want to talk about is how how do you get your mindset together? Like, what is it to each and every one of us? And what have we done, I think, too, to change ourselves from how we were living previously, which left us a little bit more dissatisfied with the outcomes that were happening, versus now the choices that you made to actually propel yourself to some type of level of greatness. So is that pretty good for y'all as intro, you think?
Yeah,
For me, yeah.
great.
So the question, I guess, for you ladies, for me, is what, I guess we'll start there, because I did kind of answer the question too. What is mindset to you? But how do you set your mind? Like, what are some of the things, the strategies or tools that you use to set yourself on whatever path you want to be on? So who would like to answer first?
I'll go because for me, you guys already know that my mindset is like, I believe in goals and determination. You know, anything is possible. Um, and I'm just pretty much optimistic about life based on how I believe um, I operate. Right. So for me, I feel like if I believe I can do anything, I can do anything. And that's my mindset. So that's just where I'm at. So I don't know if that answers your question.
That's,
But
I mean, it's not, look, I'm not looking for a specific answer, but um kind of, have you thought about a time where you felt like you weren't in control? You get what I'm saying? And what kind of shifted that for you?
okay, that wasn't in control and what shifted for me. I guess maybe, but I think what you're looking for is more or less like, how do I shift my mindset?
That's good.
Yeah, and so for me, that's of course journaling. That's of writing things down, setting goals, scheduling, planning. That shifts things for me. If I'm just completely free, willy nilly with it, which I don't really like to do, then I feel like I'm less in control. So I like to plan. You guys know what gets planned gets done. Have a whole liner of planners for a whole line of planners that's about that. So that's normally what I do to make sure that I keep things focused and in control as far as, my mindset.
Okay. Anyone else?
Okay, I'll dive in. Mindset for me is something that I battle with on a daily basis, keeping myself in the right place, because I have myself connected to people who have a different mindset. So when I look at problems, and problem solving, I was raised not to stress out over problems, but there's some people who lean into them, and then there's some people who just navigate around them. Um, I am a work in progress right now because I'm just kind of fixing myself. I've said often that I got a little bit lost and didn't prioritize myself. So I'm managing myself by handling my tasks, setting small tasks, things that I can accomplish, connecting with people who have matching mindsets. And then when I'm dealing with people who don't share my mindset, sometimes I'm going anywhere from just limiting their time to flat out turning them off. And it's not been a popular way of handling things. But to me, that negative mindset has been toxic. So I'm really just trying to stay focused on being what I know I can be. So I'm dealing with it every single day. I have good days, I've got bad days. I'm having a lot more better days than I used to. But I will say, when we're talking to a trainer, they talk about modify. If you can't, I couldn't do a squat, so I modified to a plie, something in ballet. So that's really what's been big for me and helping me go from being stuck to making progress is I've been modifying. I modify my behavior and I limit my exposure to people who don't suit me. So
Okay. To Jamaica too, like kind of what Shelley's saying there too, that mindset is not something that can stand alone. You have to modify, kind of like what she said, based on her, based on your belief, based on what you believe, right? So, as far as success, mindset is not enough. You have to strategically plan. You have to continuously act. You have to have a skill set that works too, right? So it's not just mindset per se, but that is like a major portion to me of success. So,
Yeah.
and it's not anything new. It's just, it's like the buzzword now. So, yeah.
Right. And y'all know how I feel about that. That's why I be saying it all the time, like, oh my God. But um I like what you ladies have said, and I think that is very much true, right? That mindset is just a portion of it. And because we have those different aspects, we have we have, the physical as well. And I know, I don't want to jump all into Maisha business, but Maisha is usually the one like I got to move my body, like, and it's that action that kind of jumpstart some things too, because sometimes everyone can't focus on the mental aspect. Sometimes the rewiring has to happen within the body in order for there to be implementation. But understanding that the mind does have to adjust and have to shift and have to change, and that, like what Shelley was saying, there's going to be reoccurrence. There's going to be times where you fall back because, again, if I had an automatic temperature thermostat, right, then I wouldn't have to get up and go and change the thermostat. You get what I'm saying? And so for me right now, I think that's a portion of it. I physically get up at a certain time in the morning, or as soon as I get up, and set my temperature at 77. Whereas when I upgrade and I get another model, then it can automatically be set to 77, where I no longer have to do any work. I no longer have to get out of bed to do it. At whatever set time, it's going to move. And I think that people have to take that in consideration as well, that when you first start shifting your mindset, it's a struggle. Like, I don't know why people try to make it pretend like getting back on the good foot of becoming healthy or healed or whatever, that it's all kumbaya and white lights and beautiful, whatever. No, it's in the nitty gritty. It's dirty. It's grimy. You have to go through the constant motion and movement and in a application in order for these things to shift, because you've had so many years of bad habits. You know what I'm saying? And that's within anything. And I'm gonna pass it over to you, Maisha.
And that's it right there. Is one of the reasons why I have such a disdain for this word, is because it has become the latest marketing ploy to get people to stress out about how they need to do more, go more, be more, all of this, keep going, keep going. And it's like, relax. You have to ease into it. So that's one. The second part is like your people think your mindset is like a thing. And it's to Dr. Jamisi's point, it's not, it's the definition of mindset. It is the totality of your beliefs and your attitudes and how you feel about yourself and life and others. So in order to change this big thing that we call the mindset, we have to look at all the other little pieces that are underneath. And it's not just, I'm going to read books, I'm going to listen to podcasts. That's helpful. It really is, because it introduces the mind to new things. But if you come from a place where you have been hardwired when it comes to money, because everybody wants to change their mindset because they want more money. You are hardwired through your experiences to see money in a specific way. Usually for most of us, that's scarcity. People usually, they go one of two ways. They work themselves to the point of exhaustion in order to avoid that, or they avoid that by keeping themselves very small so they don't have to handle it. Now you tell them, well, you just have to change your mindset. So they go and they create a vision board and they start doing all these mantras, but in their body is extreme panic. So they get the money. Let's say they work hard over here, they get the money, they're going to lose it. They're going to lose it because they can't, there's a fear that they haven't yet uncovered that says, I'm okay with this money, or they never reach a point where they're okay. Will Smith talks about this. Gabrielle Union talks about this. Even with the wealth and success that they have and their mindset, they're still afraid of not working. They're still afraid of losing money. So their mindset hasn't actually really shifted. And that's one of the reasons why when people talk about this word, they're looking at it like, buy the latest course and change your mindset. And it's like, no, there's actually so much more to that. Your mindset changes when you work on your traumas, your fears, your beliefs, your attitudes, and all of the other things. The mindset will change, but you don't start with mindset first and then try and work backwards. You have to tackle the other things. And so many people are so busy looking for someone else to save them that they will run to anyone who says, I will help you shift your mindset. And then all they did was just pay somebody else, and they're still stuck in the same position and they don't understand why. That's my personal issue with the word mindset.
Mm-hmm.
And people are very fearful of their triggers. And one of the things that I talk about, like in my program, is you need to identify the triggers and then pull on it. Pull on it. Like, people are so fearful. I had a client who was just like, I can't handle this anymore. I just want to, I don't want everything to just collapse. And I was like, maybe you need to let it collapse. The problem is you're struggling because you're trying to hold on to something that you don't even want anymore. Mm-hmm. Like, you're holding on. Like, I don't know if you guys have ever done it, but I remember watching this video, and I did it, where the guy's like, hold this glass of water. Is it heavy? No, So you're holding it. But the longer you hold on to the glass of water, the heavier it's going to become, because now your arms are getting weaker, right? They're becoming fatigued. And so what I was telling her is like, you're holding on to something that you need to let go of. And because you won't allow it to crash, and because you won't allow it to let go, you keep attempting to not deal with the emotions that are there. Mm-hmm. And you're running from them, which is why you keep hitting into them instead of just allowing yourself to be in those emotions. And that's the grimy piece of healing that nobody wants to talk about, or nobody, really respects, in essence, because it's just the love and light. No, it's darkness. And in order for you to see the light, it has to be darkness, because even if there's too much light, you're blinded. So people don't understand that there's the balancing of that as well.
Has to be. And I'll say this, for people who are truly interested in shifting their mindset, you have to be prepared to lose everything. Mm-hmm. You have to be prepared to lose friends, to lose family. How you gonna change your mindset and try to hang out with the same people?
You can't.
You can't. How you gonna change your mindset and keep the same job?
Right.
live in the same place. It requires you to move beyond levels of the people around you who are accustomed to it, which is again one of the reasons why it's not as easy as people make it sound. And they try to do all of these things to you know, I'm not against 75 hard. I think it's wonderful for those who do it. But there are people who try to do that type of thing thinking, if I go hard for 75 days, I'm gonna change all my mindset. I'm like, but are you still hanging out with the same friends, the same people, the same job, the same relationships? You completed a challenge, but did you actually shift your mindset? Or do you now just feel good that you completed the challenge? Real mindset shift is going to require you to lose things in order to rebuild.
Not only lose, but gain as well. And
Right, that's the rebuilding part. Yeah.
right. And sometimes all of the change, right, is it's a threat. Like like Jamaica was saying, it's a threat to almost everything because relationships will be lost, relationships will be gained, change will happen if you persistently change, learn, grow, adapt.
Yeah.
So all that's important too.
And I can chime in. For me professionally, a lot of times I talk about foreclosure a lot. People don't understand foreclosure itself is bad, but the concept of letting go, when you arrive at a destination where you realize you can't afford a house, you should change. You should shift. There's a lot of people where it's hard to explain to them it's time to sell. It's time to change how you live. Maybe you need to bring a family member in with you, and they see it as a personal attack. It's going to hurt their ego. I failed. But you're not making it. And people have gone through the process of saving their house so that they can, beat their chest and say, I saved my house. And they are there living penny to forget paycheck to paycheck. It is penny to penny, robbing Peter to pay Paul. They're living in pain. And some small shift, you go, I call it right sizing. A lot of people do. If the big 4 or 5 bedroom house is too much for you, then go to a 3-bedroom house. Or if you want that same size house, leave Beverly Hills and go to Inglewood. You could still have a beautiful 4-bedroom house, but you have to change your environment. You guys are talking about change. And I've had that conversation very many times to tell them that there is peace on the other side of this transition. So where you're holding yourself hostage because of your ego and your image, and you are blocking a lot of happiness that could be coming your way. So there's a lot to be said for simply just living within your means and having that anxiety off your shoulders. It is literally physically good for you. So I will stop.
And I think too, while all of you are talking, the one thing that came for me was, in religion and Christianity or whatever it is, they always talk about surrendering, right? That you have to surrender to God, you have to surrender to the higher being, surrender to, that position. And that's that concept. And people say it, but they don't truly understand what it means. That idea of letting go, of allowing things to just be, of losing control, because it's a fear there as well. But even like I say with Christianity, it's like cast your cares upon the cross, right? Upon God. Like Jesus had carried the cross for you. So why are you bearing your cross? And I think a lot of people, they have that disconnect. And I'm not trying to focus in on one religion. I just know a large percentage of Black people have a Bible in their household. So I'm I'm referencing something that they understand. But it's the idea that if you don't humble yourself, then you will be humbled at some point. And so, and I hate to say that because I remember my grandparents saying that, like when I was younger, and be like, I'm like, what are you talking about? But I can, you can feel, and if you're that in tune with your body, you can feel when there's a humbling coming. And either again, you want it to go deep and you get everything snatched from you, or do you want to position yourself in a place where you humbly do what you need to do, right? You humbly come forth and let go of some things that you need to let go of, and it not be as difficult, because you I think it with all things, you have the feeling within the body, like Maisha's always talking about, that the body, right? Being embodied. When you are embodied and you're in your body, you're in your body, you can really feel it. But when you are not being embodied in that moment, when you're not being in a place where you can pay attention to the now, right? And you're too far in the future or too far in the past and your mind is all over the place, that's when you find yourself at a disadvantage. But when you center yourself, you can feel, okay, I need to let this go. Okay, let me breathe through this. Okay, let me, you then, what Dr. Jamicia was saying, you then have some control over those things, right? Like she said, what gets planned get done. So she know, I'm not going to have space to do all the things that is here on this list. So let me plan out my day. These are the top things that I need to do. So let me go ahead and put this on my list to make sure it gets done. Or like what Shelly was saying, I have to make lists. I have to start doing small changes. All of these strategies are, you're able to employ them so that you can become a better version of you. But again, you have teachers, you have coaches, you have therapists, you have other people who are here to help you walk through this process so that you don't have to be alone. Everyone on this stage, yes. Everyone here, help you in some instance, right? Whether it's financially, whether it's spiritually, whether it is physically, right? It's all these different areas. And I think people need to understand, like, even when you are surrendering and you become humble, don't do it alone. I think the biggest thing that we do is we try to run away and hide because we don't want people to see us at our lowest points, or we have a tendency to I don't want to invade on anyone, or I don't want to this and that. But as people of color, you need community. As people in general, you probably need community. Community is vital, and the people who you surround yourself with help you to shift into certain mindsets. That's why they say, if you don't know it, go find someone who does, or find someone who's doing it, or whatever. You shift as you go up. You get a coach, someone who teach, or a nutritionist who teach you how to eat, the coach who teach you how to move your body, someone who's looking at it. You go to a doctor or a nurse practitioner, and they help you look at your score, look at your stats, and look at your statistics, and look at your body and how it functions, look at your blood work and all these things. Everyone's there because they're helping you with a different pinpoint a different aspect of yourself, and handhold you sometimes. Not me. Don't come to me if you need hand holding, because I'm gonna push you out like the people used to do back in the day. I'm gonna push you in the water and think you need to swim. Now if you drown, sorry. but 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 no, in all honesty, it depends on what you're looking for, because I think too, sometimes we feel uncomfortable with certain things, and we try to help and fix other people because we don't want to be uncomfortable around those individuals. And so again, I'm in a place where I'm surrendering all your stuff to you, and surrendering all my stuff to wherever it's gonna be going, because I'm not dealing with it. Look, I ain't got it no more. But yeah, mindset. It's look, it's something to it. Carmel, I don't know if you wanted to say anything. Look, I know you probably like, I'm just trying to get to where I'm going. But look, we want to hear your beautiful voice.
And congratulations. Oh my gosh. We can't hear you, but congratulations.
Okay. Hi. Thank you. Thank you. I really was trying to get here on time, and I'm doing all the calculations with the times of the race, thinking that I was gonna make it. But the commute, it was the commute that really messed me up, y'all. So hello. I see we're here on StreamYard. So what exact I hear we're talking mindset, but was there a question? Was there something that that we're referring to that I can
So
kind of jump in?
what does the word mindset mean to you, and what are some strategies you employ to get your mindset correct, or wherever you need it to be?
Okay. My mindset is a I was gonna say is a shifting, but no, it's I think Maisha said it before. It what your whole belief structure entails when it comes to different aspects of our lives, and how each thing boils down into specific areas into our lives. It's how we view the world and how we show up, and it's also how we execute things, right? And it's part of habits, it's part of discipline, and it all entails that. That's what mindset I believe to be, as far as I understand it. And strategies to shift it. Is that what the question was?
Yes.
Strategies to shift it. So it's the to Maisha's point, so many times, and like Jamika, you even touched on this. So many times I've seen people say change your mindset. I've even mentioned change your mindset in my programs dealing with people when it comes to fitness and nutrition. But it there isn't really steps to it per se, because it really is a shift, and it's more than just breaking bad habits, and it's more than just picking up new habits. It's really what we're, Maisha used the word hardwired. It's really what we're hardwired to believe, what we're hardwired to what we grew up experiencing, seeing in our parents, seeing in the other people that were around us, and experiencing it, right? So if we knew that money was, if our parents talked about money was scarce, now we were experiencing it because there were certain things that we couldn't have. Mom, can I have that toy? No, there isn't the money for it. And my mother used to always say things like, there's never enough money, there's never enough money, there's never enough money. So I grew up thinking there's never enough money. Even if I feel like I have enough, it's not enough. And the same thing with, if I were to even take it into my fitness and nutrition, what I programs, my programs that I work with people. If they, I grew up in a family of heavy women, of heavy set women. So I always thought that that was just gonna be me, right? And I'm looking for my key. Sorry, guys. So the strategies is really to start. I feel like immersing ourselves in what it is that we're trying to change, trying to upgrade, trying to shift, and change our experiences around it, to really feel, know, touch, believe what it is that we're striving to become, what it is that we're trying to shift. Know that there's safety in it, and there's non-judgment, and we can't judge ourselves based on what it is that we're trying to achieve as well. And know that it's safe, and know that it's if it's coming from someplace authentic and good and what we want to do for ourselves, then it's a beautiful thing. So not to see it as something unachievable, unattainable. And it's not enough for us to see that other people achieved it. It's not enough to see that other people have acquired this thing that you want with regard to our life in general, mindset. But it's for us to actually feel, I'm going back to that word safety, that there's safety in what it is that we want. And once we find that cozy place there, just immerse ourselves in it, and 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 really make it our belief system. But as far as a strategy, I wouldn't know ABCDE. It would just be like, just jump in the place, jump in a certain area where it's comfortable for you. So if I'm talking about swimming and my ideas and concepts about swimming, I don't know how to swim. My parents always instilled in me that it was a dangerous thing. Water was dangerous. So if I feel like my safety place is just to get my feet wet in the shallow end of the pool, let me start there. let me start there, and then I'll go to my ankles, and then I'll go to my shins until I feel comfortable and safe and know that this place, this body of water is not here to hurt me. And especially if I'm surrounded, right? Jamaica had said something about support and the people around us. We can't do it on ourselves, by ourselves. And I believe that. And to have people around us, if necessary, to help us feel safe and to help shift our mindset. So I hope I answered the question. That's what I'm thinking about mindset right now.
Carmel, can I just say something? You came a little bit later too, but um, what you said when you said you can't think of strategies or mention strategies, I think what you said about immersion is a strategy. Like James Clear talks about it in his book Atomic Habits. If you want to, which is a interesting conversation I had with someone who came to my house the other day. But if you want to have um, $1 million, then you you want to immerse yourself around people who have $1 million and $1 billion so that you can learn immerse so you can learn how these people acquired it, right? If you want to be around someone who um whatever, that immersion is a strategy. That's a strategy because like Maisha said, you want to be a millionaire, but you're still over here with the people who are over here in the projects that don't have millionaire stuff, then you're not gonna change. So I think that immersion is absolutely a strategy. So
Yeah,
yeah.
I just want to add in the safety piece
Mhm.
because that's really key in people shifting their beliefs. So I'm going to go back to the idea of the millionaire, and now I'll use myself because it's me. I've been around millionaires for a number of years.
Mhm.
I have friends who are multimillionaires, like I have their phone numbers. I
Mhm.
don't have millions, right? I've immersed myself in that, but there was something else that needed to shift in me and still does need to shift in me in order for that to happen. And it's a piece of safety. It's not safe to me to have that much money.
Mm.
That whether I like to, I don't like that that's a belief. There's a belief it is not safe for me to have that much money. And until I can create that safety within myself, because
Mm.
nobody else can do it, it doesn't matter how many books I read. It doesn't matter how many people I know. It doesn't matter all the things I do. If it starts to get too high, I will find ways to bring myself right back down.
Mm.
And what I did a live stream a couple of days ago because people talk about self-sabotage. Self-sabotage is just the mind and the body's way of keeping you safe. Oh, this relationship feels too loving. I'm not accustomed to that. I'm gonna mess it up because I'm not accustomed to this. I can't hold this. Oh, this money is starting to come in because I've had money come in. I've had tens of thousands of dollars. I've had money come in. Oh, I got to spend it all. I have to get rid of it. It's not safe for me to have this money here with me. It can't
Mm.
stay with me. So one of the other, as we talk about strategies, and it's funny, we're talking about this. I was talking to my daughter last night. We were talking about, you know, money because people look at money versus looking at abundance. And to most people, the only way to see abundance is money, which is not true. Abundance is all the things, money is just one form of it. And what I was saying to her as we were talking is, and this is where that energy piece comes in that people leave out of the mindset conversation for folks who are doing all the things and not able to shift anything. This is something to look at. If you do not have the energetic capacity to feel safe, to have the thing you want, you will not have it. There's a way that we have to learn how to expand our ability to be able to hold and receive at the same time the thing that we are looking to have: relationships, money, even health, even looking good, right? There are people who really think that they want to lose weight. They think they do. First of all, they probably, some of them really don't. They just think that they're supposed to have to because everybody keeps telling them they're supposed to. That's one. Some of them are keeping the weight on because they feel safe in that body. They don't feel safe without the weight on, and they really haven't dug into the reasons why they put the weight on to begin with, which for a lot of women actually ties into trauma that they've had, but they're not thinking about that. So they're just keeping the weight on. It all comes back to the safety piece. If people don't feel safe in what they're trying to achieve, it doesn't matter what they believe, they're going to pull themselves back to that set point that Jamaica was talking about. They're going to pull themselves back to the temperature that makes sense to them and that feels safest to them, no matter how much they know. And that's what has to also shift.
Mhm.
Well, this was good, y'all. I was gonna say something else, but it probably would have took us into a whole nother rabbit hole.
Now
And
you know, now we want to know what it is.
well, y'all will find out on the next video, okay? So, but yeah, one of the things I do want to leave, I guess, because y'all know I'm always that girl. One of the things that I hear from all of us is, of course, identifying the negative thought pattern. And in one of the classes that I'm in, there's an assignment that we do, and I do something similar to it, but the way that it was broken down in this particular class was like an eye-opening moment. So I'm going to share it. Sorry, not sorry, but I need people to be, if you apply, look, if you actively employ it, it'll be beneficial. One is to write down that idea. So, or write down the thought, because of course, beliefs are only thoughts that we keep thinking. So if we figure out what that thought pattern is, we need to write it down. So write down the negative thought is number one. Number two is write down why you believe in that negative thought. So, this is what my parent, like money is scarce. My parents always said, money don't grow on trees. Money, is hard to find. Money is hard to get. You have to work for your money, whatever it is. You write down why you believe that. Now, the third thing that you're going to do is you're going to write down how you know that to be false. How do you know that not to be real? Well, I know people who don't go to work and who get money all the time, right? I know people who get phone calls and get deliveries of packages and monies, and they don't have to do anything for it. Whatever you have seen in your life that kind of counteracts that thought, go ahead and write that down. And then the fourth thing to do is create you a new affirmation, because the affirmation is just like a prayer, something that you keep repeating. So create that new thought pattern to replace the old one. What we usually do is we find the old pattern, and then for some reason we kind of we identify it and we kind of let it go. And there's a hole that's there and it needs to be replaced with something else. So go ahead and create a new affirmation. So for me, if it's about money and I'm saying that it's scarce, now I'm going to say, money flows to me easily. I feel comfortable around money. I have money coming from the north, the south, the east, and the west. I'm surrounded by affluent people who are excited to give me gifts, to give me money, to serve me, whatever it is that you want to place in that holder. You've now identified your issue. You have identified where your issue comes from, or why you believe it. You've identified why it's false, and you've now created a new thought process to take over that old one. And I think that is something, a great strategy that I want to leave with everyone in order for them to flourish in that area. And of course, it can be applied to anything, whether it's emotional, spiritual, physical, financial. You can change whatever the thought pattern is, to now serve your higher good versus serving that lower energy that it was constantly set to, right? Because now we're changing that temperature. And so if there's nothing else that y'all want to say, do y'all want to go ahead and do your outros?
Yeah, somebody else have any tips? Too?
I do. I have. They're yeah, I think they're very similar. Like like Jamaica said, the affirmations, yes, yes, and yes, as far as money's concerned, right? Because I guess we'll focus on that, but it's also educating yourself about money, financial literacy, setting goals, building emergency funds, even though you're still afraid of certain things, seeking professional advice, finding ways to diversify your income, all those types of things, and mindful spending. Like if you are spending X amount of dollars where you know you shouldn't, mindfully focus on what you should be spending and go from there. So same thing, but just also adding some flowers to it. That's it.
I like it. I got nothing new to say. For me, it's everything that you guys said, and occasionally sequestering myself on one day and immersing myself the next in the right spaces with the right people and the right topics, because it's not just enough to be with millionaires. I need to be in the room with millionaires, or with moms, or with teachers that are talking something that is relevant to me, something that matches my mindset, my need, wherever it is I'm trying to elevate or educate myself. That I've really got to drill down on those people in those spaces.
Yeah, for me, very similar to what Jamika said, because that is part of my practice. And my literal current affirmations that I say on a daily basis that feel safe and good to me. I have the courage, energy, and capacity to hold and receive unlimited amounts of cash. I have the
Mm,
courage, energy, and capacity to hold and receive love from a healthy, healed man. And for me, I have to put in that I have the courage, energy, and capacity,
yeah.
because I have to know that I'm brave enough to do it. I have to know that I'm not going to collapse and be exhausted doing it. And I have to know that I have the space in order to have these things in my life. So that's mine. I have the courage, energy, and capacity to hold and receive whatever it is that I'm looking for. And it has been working.
That is
It's
awesome.
very interestingly enough that, normally my bank accounts end up real depleted real fast, but I always and continuously have money currently in my, and not an account, right? But accounts. And it took me 10 years to get here. It took me 10 years to get here. Yeah, Carnell.
I want to add to be careful of the lies that we're holding on to because they feel safe, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, Perfect example is when, oh no, I can't give up. I'm just going to say hot dogs. I can't give up hot dogs because they just taste so good and I just love them and I grew up on them, and my grandmother used to cook it for me. And like, why are we holding on to certain negative, no, or not so much negative things, but untruths that a lot of it has to do with safety. A lot of it has to do with feeling at a point in our lives where we don't want to put in the work to make that change, no matter what it is, right? Because the work is tough. It's hard. It's challenging. And there might not be people around to support us or even understand. And for us to explain it or try to make other people understand what it is that we're going through or what we're trying to do, especially the people close to us, it's like ripping open a band-aid and saying, see, look at my wound. And sometimes it's not pretty, right? Like a scab isn't pretty. And I think that's where a lot of people are coming from when they are not letting go to certain things that are holding them back from what it is that they might actually really want in their lives, and it's just too hard. So be careful and understand what it is that's happening that we refuse to let go of these certain untruths. That's my tip.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Like I felt
Yeah.
that, like I was in church. I was like,
Oh yes,
Yeah.
thank you for that.
Yeah. That's the same old thing. You can lie to everybody else but yourself and God. You got to be honest with yourself, even if you don't want to be.
Well, that is it for us today. I'm so excited. um, I really am excited, you guys, because we're getting out there a little bit more. We're making ourselves more available to people who really do need some real deal assistance. And oh, sorry, y'all. Look, stuff over here. But making ourselves available to people who real deal need assistance and help, and need those steps, right? Those fine-tuned steps. Because a lot of people nowadays are just saying the words, saying the vocabularies, spitting out stuff that they've heard from somebody else. But no one's really teaching people how to walk through these things or having real conversations, because we're real women, right? Having these conversations and dialogue. So this is exciting. This is lovely. So I will start the outros. First off, I want y'all to know this is Black Coffee, Honey, and Grits. Ladies, we are the Black Coffee. Our lips drip with honey, and sometimes we have a little grit, sass, class, and all that ass. But we are here. We're glad to be live. My name is Jamika Anderson, 1/5 of Black Coffee, Honey and Grits. I am the teacher's teacher, the master educator. I'm CEO and owner of Harmony and Power Institute, where I help women and children who lack confidence and clarity achieve harmony and power within themselves so that they can truly create the life that they desire. This is what I do, and I'm going to pass it over to the ladies to do their outros. Carmel, you want to go next?
I will go next. I'm Carmel out of New York City, owner and founder of CFIT Coaching, working with women over 40 on their health and wellness goals, and also fitness and nutrition. And my goal is so that every woman that I work with feels healthy, sexy, and strong, confident and empowered inside and out. So yeah, that's my outro. And I guess Dr. Jamesia, pass it on to you.
Thank you. I'm Dr. Jamesia, the nurse practitioner extraordinaire. I am also your intermittent fasting and mindset coach, YouTube influencer, speaker, author, all the things. And I am 1/5 of Black Coffee, Honey, and Grits. Find me on YouTube and watch my videos. I would appreciate that very much. And subscribe to our channel here at Black Coffee, Honey, and Grits. Passing it to you, Shelley.
All right, you guys. Shelley A. Carter out of New Jersey, founder of Housing Ministry LLC. In those walls, I use my real estate banking and life insurance licenses to help people find, fund, and protect the future of their dreams. I am here to get you the money, help you enjoy home ownership, and make sure that you never, ever get kicked out of your home, that you are always in control of every single step. So that is it for me. I pass it on to you, Maisha. Debbie Maisha.
Hey, everyone. So glad that you have watched and will rewatch and, of course, share this out to everybody. Everybody. My name is Debbie Maisha, and I am the Sensual Energy Alchemist. I am a teacher of sensual feminine embodiment and sacred sexuality for women. I assist women in aligning with their unique sensual expression, power, and confidence so they can create orgasmic lives in and out of the bedroom. I'm also CEO and owner of Sensual Energy Alchemy, which has classes, workshops, and a private membership group for women who are ready to dive into their sensual power, their sexual creative power, and learn how to live sovereign. And that is me. Jamika, back to you.
Well, that is us, and we are Black Coffee, Honey, and Grits, and we are out. So y'all have a great day. Bye.